All I hear is talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. If she be down the ride, oh, I bet that. Ooh.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Are you good? Are you cool? Are you clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling airy today? Let's talk. 2 parts for this video. First part, we're going to talk about what the union put out as far as the MOU in regards to the new sorting and delivery centers. And first, I'm going to explain what the MOU stands for because, let's be honest, not too many people know. I didn't at one time. This is why we share information. And then second part, it's an email that somebody sent to me. I'm going to read it, and hopefully one of you that has a little bit more knowledge than I do can share your thoughts in regards to the email, and maybe you can help the individual out. That's what this is about. Little networking, helping each other. You see me? First and foremost, let's talk about what an MOU is. We've said this quite a bit, and basically, a memorandum of understanding, or MOU, is a non-binding agreement that states each party's intentions to take action, conduct a business transaction, or form of new partnerships. It's also referred to as a letter of intent or memorandum of agreement. So if the union steps to the table and the post office steps to the table and they say, hey, this is what we want. We want XYZ, and it's not official, but we understand this is what we're bringing to the table. Now, the other party has to agree to it in order for it to become a binding contract. I could be wrong, but that's the gist of it. We break things down in layman's terms so you guys can understand. An MOU, memorandum of understanding. So it's not final. All right, cool. So the APWU put out a memorandum signed regarding general principles on sorting and delivery centers, the S&DCs. A major part of the management network modernization plan includes the creation of sorting and delivery centers. These centers will centralize many delivery operations into larger buildings with automated package sorting equipment. Management currently projects the creation of 400 to 500 S&DCs. So APWU is giving a little bit of information saying, hey, this is what management projects, and the S&DCs are going to have a bunch of automated sorting equipment, and basically they're coming to the table and say, hey, look, that's great, you guys having some new stuff come here. We want to make sure we ain't gonna lose no jobs. Over many months, the APWU leadership engaged in numerous and at times productive discussions, talking to them, with postal management over the union's serious concerns regarding job protection as well as service to the customers. These discussions have resulted in an initial memorandum of understanding. Hey man, hey, if y'all gonna put these in here, let's come to some understanding. This is what we propose, all right? The MOU dated June 20th, 2023 was signed by Deputy Postmaster General and APWU President Mark Diamondstein. So they were talking to them. You all know that they were talking to them. You know what they came to the table with, because everybody here goes to union meetings, right? I'm just kidding. You guys, like I said before, if you want change, you got to bind together. You have to do your best to show up, because the people that make the decisions are the people that are sitting at the meeting. So if you're not there to put your 2 cents in, you can't complain if something don't go right. At the end of the day, you know, like I said before, I'm not really a fan, but if it comes down to it and they're making some major decisions on behalf of you, the worker, show up. Hey, if each of you that watching me just go or bring one person with you, and when you sit down, the president or the person that's speaking at the beginning, you know, when you're in the hall, they gonna say, oh, okay, I can't dictate this meeting, I have to listen. And then you air your grievances. You talk about what you guys want. is usually a time for you guys to do that when they have the meetings. Nonetheless, the MOU makes it clear that no retail operations, window or box sections will be reduced or closed due to the implementation of management's S&DC plans, and confirms that customers will still be able to pick up their certified mail, held mail, etc. at their local post offices. In addition, the MOU clarifies distribution duties in the S&Ds will be categorized as function 4 operations. Let me explain what a function 4 operation is. I have no idea. So somebody, one of you, can clarify what a function 4 operation is. See, I don't know everything, but somebody out there does. Thank you for putting your 2 cents in. In relation to motor vehicle operations, that's kind of what I do. The MOU establishes that unless already subcontracted, it is Postal Motor Vehicle Service employees who will be moving the mail from the processing facilities to the S&DCs, from the S&DCs to the local post offices. There will be ongoing discussions on bringing currently subcontracted truck driving work back into Postal Service to be performed by APWU represented employees. So I'm not a fan of this statement, but I am a fan of it. So this statement says motor vehicle operations will take the work. Basically, we're going to move the mail from point A to point B. But if it's already subcontracted, that means contracted out to a contractor, we're not going to get that work. There are ongoing discussions to get that work from a contractor. Now, the key word here that I see is bringing currently subcontracted truck driving work back to the Postal Service to be performed by APWU represented employees. I spoke about 10 roads a while ago. They are APWU represented employees. So that's the little, you gotta read these things. So technically, because they're represented by the postal union, our postal union, they can technically do the work. I have my feelings about that, but this is not about my feelings. The MOU also makes it clear that there are many outstanding issues to address, and discussions will continue regarding staffing, job duties, job postings, and local negotiations. This MOU is a positive step forward in addressing a number of the union's concerns. The union has received these commitments verbally many months ago, but it was important to them to get it in writing, shared APWU President Diamondstein. The initial settlement should put to rest some of the rumors, claims, and legitimate concerns regarding the reduction and closing of retail operations and post offices. Obviously, more in-depth discussions are needed and will continue between the APWU leadership and management as the union works to address and resolve a number of ongoing union concerns, and we will continue to share the results with the APWU members. Now, that's great because that's what they're supposed to do. The bottom line, though, really honestly, and I can't emphasize this enough, is that if you don't speak up, you have no voice. We've been talking about what's going on with UPS. They speak up, they have a voice. Everybody gets so discouraged when we talk about the union and what they're doing and what they're not doing. You have your voice. You have your voice. Please stop with saying and pointing fingers. I had a discussion with a couple of rural carriers yesterday, and they were like, well, the union ain't doing nothing. Union ain't doing nothing. I kept emphasizing, hey, the union did it. The union's the ones that brought this to the table back in 2011 or 2012 about your Rex recounting the mail, and everybody seemed surprised, but they wouldn't be surprised if you were going to the meetings and asking those questions. If you're a paying union member, you have the right to go and find out what's going on and what negotiations they are speaking about on behalf of you. You make the union. You have the voice. so many of us, myself included, complain, but take no action. It seems it defeats the purpose. We can complain till we're blue in the face, but now when stuff starts changing, then we all fret our face up and say, oh, how did this happen? How did this happen? Look, all I do is do a little bit of research. I read, I talk to a few people here and there, so I get information. But unless you are doing that yourself, you're gonna be lost unless you come and watch one of my videos, and I'm nothing to look at. So please, due diligence and try, just try. Try to show up, go to the union meeting, air your grievances, all right? With that being said, let's, hope I ain't lose nobody yet. All right, so I have a certain person that asked the question. And again, I'm hoping somebody can help me. And this is more of a union type question, or somebody that may have been in a union, or somebody that knows this. All right, hello, I have a question. I'm a PSC in California. I want to know if they're allowed to have me work as a PSC throwing mail, then tell me to do custodial work in the same shift. They also have me doing custodial work for days or weeks at a time, then turn me back into a PSC. Someone told me that this is Crossland Crafts, but he's been working at the post office for over 30 years, so I'm guessing things may have changed. Do you know if they can do this? I don't want to do custodial work at all, and I've never been trained. Also, I was hired as a PSC at the plant. I was laid off and sent to the station. The station has me floating around with no schedule and making me to custodial work anytime they feel like it, or a worker calls out, or even if they don't have a custodial person, they just use me as the clean for the entire district. The union lady said they can do this. She's new, not sure if she knows all the info. Can you help with a response? Thanks. So here's an issue that I have. Please, if anybody writes me, remember I'm an old man. I use periods, exclamation points, capital letters, etc. Run-on sentences, I gotta guess. I gotta read your stuff like 4 or 5 times. And you're not the only person writing me. There's literally hundreds of emails that I go through. I try to get back to everybody. But when somebody writes, please, just so that I can read it, okay? That's number one. Number two, I had a situation like this with one of my own people that were doing custodial work. There's a mosquito in my house. And I was upset about that, you know, and I tried my best. And initially they told me that you gotta kind of have to, you know, listen to management's direct orders, and that was during the COVID time. So I don't know if things have changed, but I definitely know that it's definitely crossing crafts. You haven't been trained, and that's pretty much the extent of an answer that I can get. Do I think it's right? No. Can management tell you to do whatever they want to tell you to do? Absolutely, so long as it's within reason, and it is a craft that's underneath the APWU. Do you have to do it? This is where you guys answer that question, okay? Lastly, PSC is not a position. I think I've mentioned this before. I don't know what PSC stands for when you talk about position, because PSC is Postal Support Employee, and they have PSC truck drivers, PSC distribution clerks, PSC clerks that work at the plant, which are, what are they called? They're called, you guys know, we got a brain fart right now. Nonetheless, please, just, you know, if you guys have some answers for this gentleman, help me out. I believe it's a gentleman, yes. Please help me out. Throw your comments in the section down there, and, you know, do diligent, help your postal family out. Also, again, they're negotiating about these new S&DCs, so if you don't show up and you don't know what's going on, there's nobody to blame but ourselves. All right, this is JH, and we out.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.